But still, people like Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo have genuine reasons to be concerned that they feel this contest was maybe unfairly tilted. In the lead-up, there were some leading members from the caucus in Parliament who threw their weight behind General Mosquito. Indeed, there were those who said that the former president tried to impress on the General Secretary not to contest. There were some also viewpoints that Ofosu-Ampofo was viewed as quote-unquote anti-Maham. I don't know what that necessarily means within the party. And so the system was turned sort of against him. He released a statement after this Congress saying that there were certain things that happened that would make it a bit difficult for everybody to come back together, but he is willing to rededicate himself for the party. Without people like Ofosu-Ampofo, how is the party going to go forward in terms of leadership? And has the party already initiated mechanisms to get people like Ofosu-Ampofo back in the party's fold?
Well, I will not say that everything was rosy in the lead up to the elections. Some of the campaign messages were unsavory. Some of them were unfortunate. But that is the nature of competition. Sometimes it gets so tense that people lose their cool and say things that ordinarily wouldn't have been said. And so I think that we should all learn lessons from some of the things that were said that we all find unpleasant, and moving forward, be more guided when we engage in subsequent competitions, especially when the contest is an internal one. Having said this, it is important for us to also understand that in any contest of any sort, you will find three ingredients. There will be truths, there will be untruths, and there will be exaggerations. So at the end of the day, it is up to the delegates and those campaigning to pray that people are discerning enough to decipher the truth from the untruths, and to choose the truths from the exaggerations. And so I'm not in a position to vouch for some of the things that were said about candidate A or candidate B. What I will just say is that at the end of the day, the delegates of our party have given us the direction that they want the leadership of the party to take the party to. And I pray that the grace of God will guide those who have been chosen, not to disappoint those who chose them, and also not to disappoint the people of Ghana who are counting on the NDC to put this house in order to rescue this nation and build the Ghana that we all, deserve and want. And as for members of parliament declaring support, I know that it happened for both candidates. Both candidates, especially for the chairmanship race, had some members of parliament openly declaring support for them. So it doesn't make it tilted in favor of one against the other. On our platform, sometimes members of parliament platform, sometimes supporters of the two candidates went at each other, a couple of times, selling and marketing their candidates. So it's not. It cannot be an example of how the race was tilted, because you had some members of parliament. They are right. They have the right to do so. You also had some leading members of the party who declared support for General Mosquito, and some of them declared support for Ofosu-Ampofo. At the end of the day, the delegates, who are the true owners of the party, the masses, have also accepted, the choice of the delegates. And for me, knowing the Ofosu-Ampofo that contested this election, knowing that Ofosu-Ampofo, who has, dedicated almost half of his life, adult life, full adult life, I'll say, but half of his life to the service of this NDC, he is not one to put impediments in the way of the party, especially when it is preparing for an election that is as crucial as this one is. I believe he's a bridge builder, and I know that he is going to be available, contributing, significantly to building bridges and to shaping the fight that the NDC will be taking to the NPP, all in efforts at rescuing Ghana and building the Ghana we want.
I mean,